Good day. I am here to present my final paper titled The Corregidor Shooting Incident of 1968. This presentation will walk you through my thesis, supporting arguments, key insights, and what I've learned about this pivotal moment in Philippine history. The central thesis of my paper is this. The Corregidor shooting incident, long shrouded in ambiguity, marked a pivotal turning point in Philippine history, igniting the Moro separatist movement and revealing the complex interplay of secrecy, state power, and suppressed memory. While often referred to as the Jabida Massacre, the incident remains historically contested. Nevertheless, it catalyzed decades of armed struggle in Mindanao, with lasting effects on national unity, regional politics, and collective memory. My first major argument centers on the Philippine state's deliberate effort to obscure the truth. Following the 1968 incident, court-martial proceedings were initiated against several officers, but these were riddled with legal irregularities and conducted largely in secrecy. Documents remain classified to this day. Media accounts conflicted sharply with official statements, while the government insisted that only a few trainees were killed during the supposed mutiny. Survivor Jibin Arula consistently asserted that at least 11 of his fellow recruits were gunned down. The resulting legal proceedings, Arula v. Espino and Martelino v. Alejandro, exposed not just procedural confusion but an institutional reluctance to publicly own the incident. Instead of transparency, what followed was a quiet acquittal in 1971 and silence thereafter. The second argument draws attention to the geopolitical background, the Philippine claim to Sabah. Operation Merdeka was a covert plan to train Muslim recruits under the guise of a militia loyal to a Sulu Sultanate claimant to infiltrate and destabilize Sabah. These recruits, mostly Tausugs and Yakans, were misled about the nature of their training and their eventual mission. When word of the operation's true intent spread, and especially after President Marcos accepted a diplomatic invitation to Malaysia, the operation was allegedly aborted. What followed on March 18, 1968 was the mass shooting of the trainees in Corregidor Island. The government framed the event as a training accident or a response to mutiny, but to many, it was a calculated cover-up. This failed operation not only destroyed lives, but also revealed the volatility of secret militarized plans driven by territorial ambition. My third argument is that the incident served as a catalyst for modern moral struggle. The shooting enraged Muslim communities who already felt marginalized by the state. In its wake, Datu Udtog Matalam founded the Muslim independence movement in May 1968. Just a few years later, Nur Misuwari would form the Moro National Liberation Front, the group that would wage armed rebellion for decades, seeking self-determination for the Bangsamoro people. The Jabida One of the most striking insights from my research is how powerful silence can be. The lack of available records, the contradictions in media coverage, and the government's refusal to clarify the incident all contributed to its mythical power. This ambiguity allowed different groups to claim the narrative. The state downplayed it, critics amplified it, and the Muslim community remembered it. Another insight is the fragile relationship between national memory and official history. In many ways, Jabida has lived on, more in emotion and activism than in textbooks or archives. Writing this paper taught me that state power is not just exercised through violence, it's also maintained through what is left unsaid. The truth behind the Jabida massacre may never be fully known, but its impact is undeniable. I also learned how a single incident, when suppressed, can sow distrust for generations. The Moro conflict, which took tens of thousands of lives and displaced many more, can be traced back to Corregidor. It's a sobering reminder of how critical transparency and accountability are in governance. In conclusion, the 1968 Corregidor shooting was not just a military tragedy. It was a political rupture, an event that exposed the limits of state secrecy and helped fuel one of the most enduring insurgencies in Southeast Asia. By examining this incident, we confront difficult truths about power, nationalism, and stories a nation chooses to remember or forget.